Fan Network. Talk Sport. Powered by fans.
Good evening, welcome to another episode of Hello from the Other Side. Tonight, I welcome back to the show Sam from WD18 Fans Podcast and Fan Channel. How are we doing, Sam?
I'm all good, thank you, Ash. How are you?
I've been better, but we're getting there, mate. We're getting there. So, obviously, last time I spoke to you, Sam, it was for our Hello from the Side Manager special. So, obviously, you gave us the lowdown of what to expect from Xisco Munoz and... or what can I say? That didn't go as expected, did it?
No.
I'll give you just a brief minute or two because it's just your thoughts on that, obviously.
Difficult to watch on as a Watford fan. Like I said on the show when when Sheffield Wednesday appointed him, Watford fans really remember Xisco fondly. He's someone who really connected with the fan base, even behind closed doors during lockdown. But ultimately in the Premier League, he was just a bit tactically naive. I think on reflection, a lot of Watford fans realised that, yes, he's a lovely guy, but I think he was probably a bit out of his depth, not just in the Premier League, but at Championship level, even though we got promoted. And I think the warning signs were probably there from minute one at Sheffield Wednesday. Like I said, it was difficult to watch as a Watford fan, not just because everyone wanted Xisco to do well, but just because we could see how much he was struggling within himself. He didn't look like himself from the normal, happy, bubbly personality that he normally is. I think there was an interview I saw doing the rounds of Twitter of him getting absolutely cooked by a Sheffield Wednesday journalist. It was about a 5-minute video, and it was a really difficult watch. I'm sure that's not the only time that happened as well with him during his time there. But yeah, you guys will now probably have the new manager bounce against us, which never seems to go well for Watford. But yeah, really feel for Xisco. And I can't lie as well from the outside. I read your owner's club statements, and it does seem almost as much of a circus as us, to be honest.
Yeah, we all saw the press conference and on Xisco's first day, and obviously what happened. But hey, that's it. Well, I think that's enough. That's enough airtime we're going to give to that horror story that's happened in the last 11 league games. It's in the past, and this week we look forward to the clash at Vicarage Road, where we have a new man at the helm. So a lovely-looking German guy, and forgive me because this is one thing that's going with the Wednesday fans and how to pronounce his name. It's Danny Rule. I think something like that. I'm sure people will, but that's my best anyway. So it's not been the best start for both our teams. Obviously, we've mentioned we've been on a pretty it's on record to be the worst start we've ever had as a club. So 2 points from 11 games. I mean, you're not doing that much better, are you, Sam? Watford?
No, and we're not. I can't remember the exact number of points we are. It must be about 8 or 9, I think it is.
No, you've done yourself a disjustice there, mate, because I've got the league in front of me. You've hit double figures. You've got 10.
10. Just
dizzy heights. We can only dream of that at the minute.
It's only 2 wins, and both of them have come at home. One of them was 4-0 on the first day against QPR. We were all in dreamland thinking, wow, what are we watching here? And then since then, it's just gone like that, really, to be honest with you. It's been a chaotic international break, as always has been at Watford. We've parted ways with our technical director, Ben Manga, who we managed to get from Eintracht Frankfurt last season after they won the Europa League. Everyone was really excited with it, but now we've pretty much put Valerian Ismail in charge of recruitment as well as managing the team. So it's an absolute shambles. But yeah, performances have been a bit weird. Like, they started off quite well. Even when we weren't getting results, people could see where we were going with it all. And then unfortunately we lost 3-0 to Leeds about a month ago now, and since then performance has just gone right down the drain. Lost at home to Middlesbrough, where we were really, really poor. Sunderland away was as poor as I can remember in a while. I think the reality is with a lot of Watford fans is that we're looking in the face of a relegation battle. I don't think we're as much in there as you guys are, but for us at least, it's too early in the season to say it's a 6-pointer. But I think if we're looking at the teams in and around us, we have to be winning these sorts of games with all due respect to Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, with that, what you've just said there, if you'd have changed Watford to Sheffield Wednesday, I think you've just described us as well. So I mean, the parallels are quite startling, because we've just lost in this week our COO Liam Dooley, who, yes, not a technical the football side, but he has been doing great things at Sheffield Wednesday. And obviously we've lost the manager, which it was coming, and at the start of the season, I mean, I always said give him 10 games. The manager, he had 11, and we could not see any improvement. We played Southampton first game on the Friday night. Absolutely got passed out of the park. I think we ended up with something like 23% possession, but we only lost 2-1. Got a goal. They scored in the 84th minute, which Premier League side coming down, and I think it was the only game.
They had James Ward-Prowse that day as well, didn't they?
Ward-Prowse played, yeah. So, it was virtually a Premier League team. So there was obviously signs that it could be giving him a few more games, but after that, we've just been abysmal, absolutely in every department. The only highlight, and this is pretty bad, that obviously on the last game we had our caretaker Neil Thompson in charge, and it looked steady at the back. His defence looked pretty solid, which we can't say. And he brought a couple of the old guard back, and only one of the new signings, 13 players that we signed in summer, started. So he must have been seeing something there and brought the older players back. But just looking here, obviously, you do mirror us in your last 5 games as well. Exactly the same. Drawn, lost, drawn. We're both so we are. So it is a battle of the shit teams. Sorry, my language, but it's hard. And for us as Sheffield Wednesday fans, we're going to come to Vicarage Road on Saturday, not knowing what to expect. And the usual questions that I asked our guests on this podcast is, what are you going to expect from Sheffield Wednesday? Who are you going to look out for? But us as fans don't know either, so it's hard for me to obviously ask yourself, Sam. But obviously, you mentioned earlier that the new manager bounce. So it's not so much a bounce we need. It's it's a good kick up the arse and a good start for the new manager. So it's hard for you to say about. But what's your thoughts on obviously a new manager coming to your opponent, and obviously you're going to have the first look at him, should I say?
Yeah, we've read this script before as Watford fans, where teams who are struggling in games, new manager comes in and they're able to miraculously pick up a result out of nothing. Wednesday have come in and frustrated Watford at Vicarage Road at times. The famous one back in 2015 when was it Nui? Is that how I say it? Scored in the last minute.
Well, I'm not going to slate you for any pronunciations with my Nuhui.
Yeah.
There's all sorts. So yeah,
yeah.
I think he's affectionately called Big Dave by Wednesday fans, but I don't think he appreciated that. He did say in the interview that he didn't like it, but hey.
Yeah, his last minute goal actually stopped us winning the league in 2015. So not the best memories of Sheffield Wednesday at home, but that's the worry. To be fair, I think in some ways the unexpected, when we don't know what to expect from teams, Watford struggle in that situation. I think obviously it's going to be difficult to prepare this week. You can work out on a basic level what teams are going to do. I think I don't want to make predictions. I'm not a tactician, but you can assume that Sheffield Wednesday will try and play with a low block and try and hit us on the counter attack, because I think we have the better players on paper, and I stress on paper that could potentially hurt you if we get space in behind. So I think we can imagine that Wednesday will sit with a low block, but like you say, it's too difficult to really predict a style of play or anything that could happen. A player I've always really admired. I won't lie, I've only really watched the Wednesday games that have been on Sky this season, but I love Barry Bannon. I think he's a fantastic player. I'm sure Sheffield Wednesday fans really like him as well. So I suppose if I had to pick out a danger threat, if he starts, will he start the game, do you reckon?
I think, yeah, he's been training. He's missed the last couple of games, I believe it is, and he has been pictured in training this week. So him and Windass, I think, missed the last game. So he should be in contention. But
So I think Barry Bannon's someone who, if he's on it, I think he's potentially a really strong midfielder in this division and at this level. I think that's a concern for me. But like we said, we don't really know what to expect from Sheffield Wednesday, let alone from Watford, because performances this season and results have been so Jekyll and Hyde. We have that 4-0 win against QPR where we looked unstoppable, and Watford fans would have probably turned around on day one and said we're going to win the league with ease. And then we have games like Blackburn at home or against Middlesbrough at home where we just look really blunt and really poor. So no idea what to expect from either team, and I think that could make for a really good game of football for the neutral.
Yeah, I think the way that I've done a little bit of not digging, but reading up of Danny Roll, however, the new manager, I think I can't get that one wrong. The new manager assistant, obviously this is his first gig as a manager. Really, obviously don't know what to expect, but what we have read, or what I have read, is that he likes to play a pressing game, high press, which is quite not worrying to hear, but it's a different way of thinking for Sheffield Wednesday, because I don't think we've got the players to be able to implement that at the moment, and especially in the short space of time he's been. So obviously he's only been, it was announced last Friday, so it's going to be just over a week that he's been with the club. I think he started training on the Monday, so it's not going to be the final product for us with how he wants to play. It's going to be a bit of a transition. So I'm not expecting to see a massive difference, but hopefully in performances rather than tactically. So I can't. It's one of them. I'm talking. I've said it. We're talking to you, and we just don't know. I just know that we, and like yourself, Sam, no doubt, need to improve pretty quick. I mean, you said you had the great win against QPR, and they're down there as well. So they're in the bottom three. So that good win for you. We haven't had even that good win. We haven't even had a crap win. We haven't had a win. Here we go. I've said it. Which, after 11 games, it is pretty worrying. But obviously, the chairman, the owners, made his decision and brought someone in. We'll talk about some of your, obviously, this is a stupid question that people listening, but obviously your new signings in the summer, obviously looking where you aren't performing, or are they? Is there glimpses of shining lights? Because, like I said, we signed 13 players, and out of them 13, you could probably say 2/3 have actually had half decent games.
Yeah, it's a really difficult one. Again, we didn't bring too many players in this summer, and we let a lot go. About 20 players left, and we brought in about 5 or 6. So it's a huge squad turnover, and I think there is still that settling in period. The striker Militarajevic came in, and on his debut against Coventry scored 2. And I mean, he didn't have too much involvement other than putting 2 in the back of the net, but that's what you want from your striker ultimately. Before scoring again against Birmingham in the last minute, where we scored 2 in the 90th minute to win the game. But since then, he's pretty much done nothing in games and looks pretty non-existent, and has struggled, I think, at this level, it seems, particularly with the physicality. Reece Healy's hardly featured. Jamal Lewis has come in over the last 3 or 4 games, and to be honest with you, I don't think he's looked too good. Jake Livermore actually came in against Cardiff and actually had a really good game, I thought, and I think he'll probably keep his place in the side. But other than that, with the new signings, not many of them have really come in and made an impact. I can remember off the top of my head. I feel like I might be missing someone completely obvious here. But yeah, it's a season of transition, and I think it's a case that Watford are going to have to stay in the Championship this year. It's mental. I feel like it's mental saying that as a Watford fan. It's almost like we're back to square one, but just hopefully have a platform to build on going into next season.
But you have done something in the last few weeks that you can't say you've done very often in the last few years. You've actually extended a manager's contract, I believe.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the joke of Watford being for the last few seasons, it has been a very much like merry-go-round, a revolving door of managers. So, but it was pretty surprising to see that they've extended his contract. Is that just for after this season, or is it to this season? Is it just because obviously where you are, and it's not been something that you're famous for?
I know. I think it's nothing too drastic. I think it's literally adding on a year or so, to be honest with you. But I think it's particularly with the departure now of the technical director, it's giving Valérien Ismaël a bigger remit in terms of recruitment and what goes on day to day at the football club. I think he still wouldn't show. If results don't pick up, he will get sacked still. I don't think that changes. I just think the contract clauses changed with what his actual role is at the football club. I think he's more of a manager now than a head coach, to be honest, along with the likes of director Cristiano Gioretta, the owner Gino Pozzo, and chairman Scott Duxbury. So, yeah, it's more of a change of terms rather than, I think, a reward for results, because they haven't been good enough, and it still wouldn't shock me if he lost his job if results don't pick up. There's another international break in November, and I think that might be an interesting time.
Yeah, I think obviously you've got we as Sheffield Wednesday fans, obviously we've got the owner, the chairman, and then very little below him, and it's something that especially in this international break with the introduction of a foreign manager, is obviously they work very different, and he's worked under obviously at Bayern Munich, the German national team, and RB Leipzig, so he's probably been used to technical directors of football. And it's something with our COO who's just left. It's wondering, Wednesday fans have gone, as the owner actually, after 8 years, come to it and thought, actually, I don't know how to run a football club. I'm going to get people in to help the on-field and off-field thing. So I don't think so. We need that structure at the club. And I do feel sorry for any manager that comes in. Obviously, Xisco, like I mentioned earlier, it started off well on the wrong foot with the press conference. He was always fighting uphill battle.
I did feel though. Sorry, I know we said we're not going to talk about Xisco again. I did feel though that he was fighting an uphill battle from minute one, like I said with that press conference. Obviously, the backdrop of Darren Moore and the way that he left as well. I don't think he was helped by that, to be honest with you. I think everyone was up. I think he was up against it from minute one, and I think that's another reason why a lot of Watford fans feel really sorry for him, because I don't. If he knew what he was getting himself into, I doubt he would have taken the job, to be honest.
Well, yeah, I think Danny Rule, he was into it. Apparently, he was interviewed in the summer with Xisco. Obviously, missed out initially with a job. So I think he's probably took a step back, had a look at the circus, which it is. It is a circus that's going on at Sheffield Wednesday at the minute. And hopefully he's better prepared. He has come across really well in the opening press conference that he's done with the local press and everyone, and on the YouTube videos that the club have put out. And I think as well, a lot of fans, because of how bad we've had it, how good we had it, like in the summer. Then we had obviously the massive down of obviously Darren Moore leaving, the appointment of Xisco, and the actual just decline in football. So I think now we've brought someone in. He's coming in. He's brought in one backroom staff at the minute, but there's going to be added some more. He's already got some staff there from previous regime that are club coaches, should we call them, rather than like a managerial team of coaches. And hopefully, we come to Vicarage Road. I mean, Barry Bannon's back. We've got Momo Diaby, who's a signing in the summer. He played half an hour and then got injured and is going to be out till Christmas. So he's an injury doubt for us. But we're basically fully fit, which, looking at the table, you're thinking, it doesn't matter because the way we are. But and we have been very toothless up front. Very. I mean, we've got Lee Gregory, who's 35. I think Michael Smith just turned 32. Ashley Fletcher, it doesn't matter if he keeps running and kicking. He's never going to get you a goal. Apologies, Ashley. I know you don't listen, but
is he on loan from us, or did we sell him to you? I don't even know. He played about one game.
He's on loan from Middlesbrough, is he?
Oh, from Middlesbrough. Oh, we sold him. No idea. So many players coming in and out.
I'm sure it is. I may be wrong. Wherever he's from, I think I think he may go back in January. He's on a year loan, but you've just seen nothing of him at the minute. And that's the Sheffield Wednesday.
Watford,
he is from Watford, from yourselves, so he won't be playing anyway.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, that's good news. Oh, listen, I'm happy now. That's him going to win 3-0.
I mean, that's literally like his fourth loan or something since joining us 2 years ago. Played like one game.
Oh, right. Well, apologies to Ashley Fletcher and everyone, but now we are struggling. Really are up front. We've got one space left in our squad with the registration. So it's Marvin Johnson, who was a player last season, did really well for us. I know it was League One, but he's been frozen out by the previous manager. So he may be able to come back if he gets registered. Obviously not in time for Saturday, but in the future. It's going to be a good. What's happening down at Watford? Just give me us an insight. Us Wednesday fans are travelling. I'm going to go myself. I ain't been to Vicarage Road before. What am I going to be treated to?
Ooh, well, you're getting to Watford Junction if you're getting the train, and that's pretty much banging in the city centre. You go in. I think the away pub is a Spoons, Moon Under the Water, which is around quite a few good restaurants. It's opposite the Atria as well. It used to be called the Harlequin, which is a huge shopping centre as well. Loads of places just to go look around. There's a mini golf place there and loads of places to eat good food as well. From there, it's about 5-10 minute walk down to the stadium as well, where I'll just give a heads up in the away end, they don't serve alcohol at Vicarage Road. So if you don't want to go to the game sober, you'll have to sort yourself out beforehand.
Right, Sam, that's going to be the opening line when I tweet this out, because it needs to be the headline, because I'm going to be driving, so I'm going to be a good boy, but I know that a lot of people, the day out is the day out for them. So if the Spoons is an away pub, then I'm sure they'll be getting quite a few visitors. But no, it's a good job you said that, because is that a thing that's happened a while, or is it? Because I've not been before to it. It's my first visit. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I want to say it's been the last 4 or 5 years, but it might have been longer, to be honest with you. I think it's. I mean, to be fair, I don't want to say I quite like it, because I do like a beer on a particularly an away game, but I think I'm quite big on football phasing out alcohol in stands, and I mean not in stands, in stadiums specifically, and gambling sponsors as well. We won't get into that now, obviously, but I do quite like it. Off the pitch, Watford I think still excel themselves in terms of priding themselves on being the original family club, but I think on the pitch it's just a shambles, to be honest.
Well, a lot of people listening to this will probably agree with me. They don't usually on when I do these podcasts, mate, really. But I think on the pitch for Sheffield Wednesday, it's been a shambles. Off the pitch, it's a shambles. And even in the stadium, I love it. I love the old girl. The Hillsborough, it's a proper old school stadium, but it needs a bit of TLC. It does. And some of the offerings and things and to be honest, I can't. Yeah, it's not anything. The thing is, for away fans as well, that we don't have any away pubs. They're in the city centre, so it's quite a distance for away fans to have a drink. So it's not like you say. You go into the train station in Sheffield, you get the train station. You'll have to either get the tram into Hillsborough or a taxi, or you can walk, but it's a fair distance. So it's not conducive for away fans really, but. It's good to hear that you can only be 5 or 10 minutes away if you're going on the train, everyone listening. But obviously just make sure you're hydrated before the walk to the stadium. Should we call it that?
Definitely, yeah. So yeah, it's about 15-minute walk over, I'd say. If you're going straight from the station to the stadium, it's about a 15-minute walk. You pretty much have to go past the away pub anyways. You have to go into town first.
Brilliant. Well, everyone listening, the Wetherspoons, get yourself there and have a £1.99 pint of, I don't know, Theakston's or something. I don't know what they sell. But right, Sam, we're gonna start wrapping up there, because I know you're a busy guy. I know, so I'm gonna ask you what your predictions are, and this is obviously this is just a shot in the dark. You're throwing a dart in the dark to the dartboard because we don't know. We just don't know. I would imagine you would have been confident if it was Xisco still in charge, even where you are. But we got a new guy, so a new manager bounce. A bit of a overview from yourself. What you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to be a really scrappy game of football. Like I say, I think Wednesday will probably try and hit Watford on the counter attack. Watford, I think, have struggled to create in games with teams with a low block, like we saw against Birmingham. We didn't score until the last minute. I do think we will win it, but I think Wednesday fans will also come out encouraged by the performance. I think 1-0 Watford.
1-0 Watford, right? Okay. I am actually gonna go for 1-0 Wednesday. I've been saying, I think I've said Wednesday to win on every game because I'm pretty positive and I want the club to. But I do like the new manager bounce. I like what people think it is. I like the whole aura about it. It's just one of those football cliches that'll always be there, obviously. So I'm going to go that, and I do think I agree with you. I think whether we win, lose, or draw, I think a bit of a glimpse into how the new manager wants to play, and a little bit of attacking impotence, just a little bit more than the one shot on target we've had in games and two shots, just offering nothing. So I'm going to go for a scrappy 1-0 off somebody's bum. I don't know, Gregory, something like that, and just some points on it because, like I say, 11 games. It's not a 6-pointer, but it could quite turn into one on the return leg at Hillsborough. So, Sam, it's been a pleasure having you on again. I mean, you're getting quite regular, so no doubt we'll might talk to you on the home leg if you're not busy. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
I hope you have a good day on Saturday, but obviously not that good a day.
Thank you.
Wednesday fans, anyone listening, obviously you've heard Sam's thoughts on Sheffield Wednesday and Watford and the lack of beer in the away end. So that's going to be the heading of this podcast. I'm sorry. It's a public service announcement. That's what we're good doing. But thank you very much for joining us, everyone. See you on Saturday at Vicarage Road. Thank you very much.